Well, okay, so we're live, right. Now, I'm just gonna use this time to put this away, since I was listening to this just before. Come on. Always put... By the way, just a tip for anyone. If you do collect vinyl records like I do, get some plastic inner sleeves, anti-static sleeves, whatever you want to call them, just because then it avoids the records getting dusty, or more importantly, scratches. So let's put this away and we'll start the stream properly, because we do have a few things to talk about this time around. Obviously, season 24, which came as a massive surprise to everyone, as well as other things. The delays on season 8, which has been delayed to the 8th of March, and the 50th anniversary Steelbook has been delayed until the 8th of Feb. So, yeah, not long to wait for either of them, really, but, you know, delays were... it was going to happen. I mean, with any BBC release, delays are bloody inevitable, so it is, unfortunately, you know, just a fact of life. Unfortunately, it's just going to happen. Also, I hope everything's coming across properly. I'm just going to put the camera down at the ceiling as I shimmy my way around. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Okay, I think I'll put this at this angle. So, okay. So we're live. So I did put on Facebook, Twitter, if you just wanted me to do a live stream, and hey ho, here we are. So I'll give it a couple of minutes, just for everyone to join up, and again, feel free to comment whatever the hell you want. Because it doesn't have to be Doctor Who, it can be literally absolutely anything. Well, I just fart about on my phone for a bit. I'm just going to check the Doctor Who merchandise page just in case there's anything new, because I find for some reason when I do these live streams, for some reason it's always like something new is announced while I'm doing the live stream, talking about something else that was recently announced. Currently nothing. So yeah, we'll talk about season 24. Why not? So yeah, this one is obviously a harder sell than other seasons. It's probably I would argue the hardest one to sell out of the classic series, season 24. Yeah. So how would you sell it? Well, you do an 8-minute trailer apparently, and you bombard it with special features. This is an 8-disc set. 8 discs. 8 discs. I actually rewatched the most of season 10 the other day. And when I was rewatching, I was thinking, I'm really disappointed with the special features on season 10. Because season 10, when you think about it, there was barely any new special features on the season 10 Blu-ray box set. I think that one, in terms of special features, is probably the weakest one in terms of, you know, getting new content. Because to be honest, there isn't much on season 10. Yeah, it seems to be like the further back you go, just like the less and less special feature. I mean, season 10 also has the weakest behind the sofa segments. They're just boring. Right, yeah, season 24, how do you get people interested? I mean, this is also the first one, season 24 will be the first one that'll actually have other doctors watching other doctors' stories on the behind the sofa, so that'll be interesting. The fact that they got Colin Baker, which, yeah, kind of makes sense, because, you know, he was basically kicked out, and but they also got Peter Davison on that. So yeah, it'll be interesting. The behind the sofa segments. I'm wondering whether the behind the sofa segments will probably. I'm hoping they'll be longer because of it as well. Because sometimes they do feel like they're cutting out a lot. So the fact that they've got more people this time around on the behind the sofa segments, should hopefully mean we should get a better variety of things said, comments said about each story. It'll be interesting to see what they actually say about season 24, because there's a bit of a. I remember someone posted on Twitter Janet Fielding doing this from the trailer for the season 24. So it'll be interesting to see what they actually think of the stories. But yeah, and obviously we get extended versions of every story, which is great. I mean, we mostly got that on season 26, in fact. But yeah, now I know some. I don't know if all of them had extended editions beforehand on VHS. I'm not sure. I know Time of the Rani was slightly longer on VHS. I know that because I actually own the VHS of Time of the Rani. But I don't own any of the others on VHS, so I've got no idea whether the VHS versions of those stories were actually longer or not. But it is nice to have them on Blu-ray, and they will be in their best quality. They won't be at VHS quality. They will be restored the same as everything else, because someone once said, "Oh, it's a shame the VHS versions won't be in the same quality." They are. They're restored exactly the same. But yeah, there's obviously the studio footage, which is always interesting to see. It's a shame that actually on the season 26 Survival, unfortunately, only has a very short segment because most of it is missing. Behind the Sofas, the Doctor's Table. I'm glad they brought back the Doctor's Table, because the season 23 Doctor's Table was hilarious. So it is nice that they brought back the Doctor's Table. That'd be nice. Be nice if they did it, with each Doctor do a Doctor's Table, even with each season, do a Doctor's Table, because they are entertaining. And there's just. Obviously, it just says lots more. I have already pre-ordered it from HMV. Oddly enough, I'm just going to double check this. Yeah, it's still not available to pre-order on Zoom. Because otherwise, I would have considered ordering it from Zoom, because I have Quidco, so I would have got possibly some money back. But I just pre-ordered it on HMV. You can also order it, obviously, from Amazon, and there'll be other retailers and that'll get it. But yeah, interesting though, I was having a look on Zoom as well. Season 8, you can't actually pre-order Season 8 on Zoom anymore, so I'm assuming they've sold out of their stock. So I'm assuming Season 8 initially is, I don't know if people are kind of like bulk buying it, possibly because if you remember last year, Season 14, the initial batch was very small, so they had to put the second batch out later on. So I don't know if things are happening like that this time around. And then we've got Web of Fear. So Web of Fear Special Edition, I think, is now coming out in June, July time. I think. I can't remember off the top of my head, because I know that has been delayed, but it hasn't got an official release date yet. So I'm assuming season 24, I would guess, would probably be August, September time, maybe slightly later, depending on how the world is, if we haven't all died by that point. But we'll see. We'll see how that is in whenever. Also, something I'll talk about is obviously B&M sets as well. I'll just open this up. So thank you for the happy Saturday, Arthur WB Willing. Happy Saturday. What did you do this Saturday? I went to the incinerator to get rid of some cardboard off Christmas. What an exciting day! Oh. The thing is that actually woke us up a bit more, actually, because I don't know about you, but my sleep pattern has been completely fucked at the minute, because since, you know, we've got to stay in all the time, and it looks like it's going to be until at least April, possibly after, that we're going to be like this. You know, since you're inside all the time, your sort of sleep clock goes completely all over the place, so you don't know what bloody time it is. Joseph Gavlin says, yesterday I got the 13-inch Product Enterprise Blue Movie Dalek. Thanks for the review, by the way. Yeah, mine's actually over there. What was them? Yeah, I do love the movie Daleks, and the silver one does seem to be a harder one to get. I'd say probably the most common ones you'll find really are the black and the red, which is odd. The red one kind of makes sense, as you know. That's probably my favourite Product Enterprise Dalek, to be honest. The red 13-inch movie Dalek from the second film. I just love that colour scheme of the red and the silver. I think it just really pops. I do like the one from the first film as well, with the sort of the gold and the black, but the one from the second film, I think just the red and silver just looks a bit better in my opinion. When I actually got that, I dread to think how much you paid for it, because I mean, I paid £75 for my one, and that one was just loose. It didn't even come with the actual remote. It was just like a general Product Enterprise remote, which you can find all about from my first Doctor Who search for memorabilia back in 2018. 2018, I think that was. Or was it 2019? I cannot remember off the top of my head. Yeah. Actually, that's a point. I don't know if there'll be... I am debating whether to do a Doctor Who search for memorabilia this year. One, I might not be able to anyway, depending on how things go. And two, if I do... Because the thing is, it's mainly just me filming where I go on holiday, because... you know, but it'd be interesting for you to let me know whether you'd be interested in me going to the sea. The thing is, I have basically for 3 years gone to mostly the same collector's shops in like Blackpool and Liverpool and that I normally go to. So it'd be interesting to see, you know, if people want to see that again for a fourth time. I mean, there's always something different. There. To be fair, but it is because they keep going to the same place over and over. The main reason I did last year is because I went to Southport last year, which I hadn't been in years. Not a big fan of Southport, to be honest. Not really for me. I mean, I prefer Blackpool and Liverpool, to be honest. But we'll see. Andy G, are you still a Lady Gaga fan? Well, I'll show you the answer. There we go. There's all of Lady Gaga's albums on vinyl, apart from Art Pop, which I need to still get. Actually, that's a good point. Here's my record collection. Currently, down here are the Doctor Who ones at the bottom here, and these are just all my albums. You can see the Blu-ray box sets are down there. Yay! So yeah, this is also something new, a new purchase. This is my new turntable, and this thing initially cost me £160, but I had to do some repairs on it, and so I got 40 quid back, so £121 for this, and I do like it. I do like a nice turntable. I normally won't spend that much money, but to be honest, in lockdown, what else am I going to be bloody doing? So, you know, I say, you know, at the moment, if you've got some spare money lying around, you might as well treat yourself, because I mean, obviously, if you've got bills and everything to pay, then obviously pay them. But you know, if you've got some money lying around and you're thinking, you know, just treat yourself. Just treat yourself. Because to be honest, you know, if you're going to be stuck in the house for months by, you know, the way things are going on that. If you're going to be stuck in the house for months, what else are you going to be spending the money on? So you might as well just treat yourself with something nice, because at the moment, that's probably going to be one of the only things that's going to keep us all a bit sane at the moment. I mean, I'm bloody clawing at the walls waiting for Season 8 to get released. So is my brother, actually. Because and also Season 8 will be the first time I actually own Terror of the Autons, because I don't actually own Terror of the Autons in any way, shape or form. And there's a reason why. It's a very simple reason, because at the time when Terror of the Autons came out, I was disappointed that it was re-released with Spearhead from Space. And at the time I was just like, I don't want to pay double for getting another copy of Spearhead from Space. And especially since not long after the Blu-ray was out, I did actually buy the Blu-ray, so I do own Spearhead from Space on Blu-ray, but yeah, so I will have Terror of the Autons finally, so that'll be nice. I won't be watching the CGI version. I don't know why they did. To be honest, I don't know why they did it. Out of all the ones they decided, I don't know why Terror of the Autons was the one they decided, because you know that I don't know what they would do for. There's not a lot they would do for that, really. I mean, there's a bit of CSO, but yeah. I never watch the CGI enhanced versions, because to be honest, for one, I find they're far too distracting, and two, I find a lot of the time the effect is actually worse than the practical effect. At least with a practical effect, you know, it's a physical thing. You know it's there, and you can more appreciate it, because when CGI looks bad, it just looks bad. Like, there's nothing to say, oh, well, you can appreciate this about it. With a practical effect, even if it's bad, you can usually appreciate the effort that went into it, even if it did go wrong. Or, if a practical effect does look bad, then sometimes it can be more entertaining that way. But with CGI, if CGI looks bad, then it just looks bad. It's an end of the story, really. It's not like oh yes. There are a few examples, because if CGI is particularly bad, it can look creepy. Or hilarious in some cases, but to be honest, like, that would have to be bar level. That would have to be zero budget. Like, good example is Food Fight, or the Disney rip-offs by Video Brinquedo. Yeah. Andy Gay asks me, who would you say is your favourite music artist? That's a difficult one, because I do listen to a lot of music. So I'll kind of break it up. Because when I was little, when I was growing up, my favourite music artist was Robbie Williams. But now, I would say my favourite music artist, I don't know, because who do I listen to the most? Because my favourite song of all time is Eiffel 65 Blue. And just to prove how much of my favourite song is, I have a playlist called Eiffel 65 unofficial remixes and covers, and there's 53 tracks on there. But yeah, I mean, so listen to that variety. Arthur, do we rolling? My Saturday is pretty good, thanks for asking. Not much to do though. Yeah, not much to do really, other than watch the telly. Which isn't a bad thing, or listen to music or something, or make videos or whatever, but yeah. Basically, anything you can do inside. Anyway, how do you afford your collection? Well, for one, I wait for things, like if things are on sale, I generally go for them then, or generally I'm very good at budgeting things. For example, I know that I generally give myself, right, I can only spend this much money a month. You know, I've kind of gone a little bit beyond that this month. But normally I say to myself, right, I can only budget this much a month. So, you know, I kind of just buy what I want during that month. Yeah. In terms of the vinyl records, you know, I mean, that's years. That's I say years. I started collecting vinyl records in 2018. Really, with Energy of the Daleks. Actually, probably was my first vinyl record that I actually bought. So that kicked off my collection. So for nearly 3 years now, I've just been adding to the collection as I go. So yeah, I mean, some people may spend, it's generally when people collect things, they'll spend more money on one thing but not spend money on other things in life. For example, my shirts are pretty much all from Primark, all cheap, or my furniture is from IKEA, so I'll spend less money in that regard, but I'll spend more money on, say, like my TV, my electronics and stuff like that. So I'll spend more money on one thing, spend less on the other. That's generally how you afford a lot of things. Like, you spend more on one thing, you spend less on the other. Just again, I just think you're really lucky. I couldn't sleep one night, then went on eBay and randomly found it. It came in its blue box, but the seller put the remote in the ground above the line. Still works without it. Yeah, the aerial for the Dalek is just for range. To be honest, it doesn't need it. You could just get a standard replacement aerial for it. If you take the remote apart, because I think there's 4 screws on the back, and then the side bits come off. But yeah, if you take the remote apart, you can replace the aerial, because it is just a standard aerial. My side is going fine, playing Mario Sunshine this morning. Arthur W. Billing. I don't like the 13th Doctor era very much, but the action figures are very good. I basically got all of them really cheap. Yeah, I don't plan on getting any of the 13th Doctor era figures, unless there is one I might get if they ever release it. I might get a Slashing Down & Co. Master figure, because he is actually good, and it'll be interesting to see what his opinion on season 8. So yeah, he'll be like the exception. I will get him if they do release a 5-inch figure of him, which they might do. Possibly, I don't know, because the figures they released last year of the 13th Doctor era figures they released last year were not a big success, unlike the classic figures, and especially the Daleks. The Daleks last year were obviously hugely successful for character, but the 13th Doctor era figures weren't. And I know there'll be someone who says, "Oh well, these people bought them." Yeah, they'll be the exception, because the thing is, all the 13th Doctor stuff got reduced. And got reduced pretty damn quick. In fact, some of it was out less than a month before getting massive reductions on them. So yeah, that generally doesn't happen unless they're piss poor selling. So yeah, Andy J, if you could only have your vinyl collection or your Doctor Who collection, what would you choose? I would choose my Doctor Who collection over my vinyl record collection, because although I do love my vinyl record collection, I also have a cassette collection as well. But if I didn't have my vinyl records, the music that is on them, I could still listen to it. If I didn't have my Doctor Who collection, like my figures, my Blu-rays and that, then that would be, there's no way to get them other than having the physical thing. So that's what I would choose over it. Plus, my Doctor Who collection is bigger as well. My Doctor Who collection takes up 3 houses, whereas my vinyl collection is just here at my granny's. Arthur W. Billing. Both of 13th Doctor figures for £4 each. June Captain for £8. B&M 3 packs for £13 each. TARDIS for £12, and the Dalek Dalek for 15? Jesus Christ. I remember at one point, I think it was at Argos, the Dalek was, the reconnaissance Dalek was reduced to, I think it was £3 or £4, if I remember rightly, and then it did go up a bit after that, but it was on clearance for a bit. But yeah, the fact when you've got the reconnaissance Dalek, which is a completely brand new sculpt, and that can't sell, yet you have the re-release B&M sets, Daleks and that classic ones that sell infinitely well. Actually, that is something that I was just reminded me of something. Something that made me lose a bit of confidence in someone. That's Vote Saxon 07, because it's something he actually said recently that, and something he's done recently that made me think, oh, hang on, you're being a bit of a hypocrite there. Where he said in a video, I think it was his resolution of the Daleks review, where he reviews the B&M sets without even owning them. He just says, "Oh, same old shit," and then he says, "Oh, these YouTubers getting sent them for free, don't give honest opinions," which is true in some cases, not true in others. But he says, "Oh, they shouldn't be sent them, blah blah blah," and then he later gets sent the Vortex Manipulator from Rubital Replicas, which is just like, you're a bit hypocritical there. I mean, to be honest, I don't mind if a YouTuber gets sent something for free, as long as what they say is their honest opinion, then I couldn't give a shit whether they got sent it for free or not. No, if they do lie, then yeah, that's a problem. But if they do give their honest opinion about it, then yeah, well, so be it. So be it. Where are we? Andy G, do you have a plan to move out and have your collection all in one place? Not anytime soon. For one, I'll have to get a job. Which is, difficult at the minute, because every time I try and get a job at the minute, either it's bombarded with loads of applicants and you just get an automatic rejection saying, sorry, but too many people have tried to apply this job, or you get the thing of, well, this job was available, but then we had a lockdown, so that's not available, so that's not what I'm... and to be honest, I'm not desperate to move out, to be honest, because I don't see any advantage of it. Why would I want to move out and then throw myself into debt? To be honest, I'm fine living at home, and it is nice, going from place to place. Plus, even if I did move out, I would still have to go to here, like my granny's, fairly often, because I do act as a carer for her, looking after her. God, when was I fucking itchy? So yeah, I don't. So the collection being in one place, yeah. Even if I did have my own place, I wouldn't bring all the collection there, because for one, it's too big for that. And a lot of my collection isn't even on display. A lot of it is just kind of hidden away. I think it'll be billing at the time. Oh, internet connection shit. At the time, I couldn't see it cheaper than I found it on Forbidden Planet. It's now £10. I don't mind though, because I love the design. I hate the design. I really fucking hate the design. I do. I mean, for me personally, when it comes to Daleks, the design should not be messed with. The design should not be messed with. It is, because the problem is it's such an iconic design, and unlike the Cybermen, the Daleks remained pretty much the same throughout all the classic series, because for the most part they were the shortcraft props that remained in use all the way up until Remembrance, even, because there was 2 in Remembrance, and even the ones the BBC made in the late 80s were basically the same design, just a bit slimmer. And obviously the Bronze Dalek is
again, a slight modernisation on it, but again, mostly the same thing. It's just a design that's so iconic and that you just shouldn't mess with it. It's this age-old, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there we go. And it's clear that, obviously, every time they do try and radically change it in any way, people aren't happy about it, so they immediately go back to the design that they had previously, which is why the bronze nothing has exceeded the bronze Daleks, and to be honest, nothing needs to. If you want to spruce up the Daleks, change them, then just give them a repaint. It would be nice if they return to their 60s livery, or the grey livery from either preferably Genesis, because I do like that darker finish, or something along those lines. But I'll be honest, in terms of that, it doesn't matter. I mean, I know some people say they're bored of the design, they're bored of the bronze ones, but it's a design. The TARDIS exterior, when you boil it down, the TARDIS exterior being a police box and that, yes, they do change, but it's not like suddenly it goes from this to, from being square to being round, or rectangular to being round. So, it's kind of like certain things always have to stay in that regard. So that's my thoughts on that. And it went a little bit long, didn't it? That's fair enough. I'm one of the only few people who love it, but if they got reduced, I would buy at least another 3. Alright, yeah, speaking of B&M sets, actually, something I would like to see released, and I've spoken about this a lot of times, I would love a Season 18 4th Doctor to be re-released again, and have it have the same sort of pattern on the scarf, the more detailed pattern that the 13 Doctor set had, but using more the colours that the original release had, so kind of a best of both worlds. I'd also like to see a re-release of the Season 12 4th Doctor, because we've only ever had, in the UK, 2 releases of that, the original release and then the 4th Doctor Adventure Set release, which were both released within a year of each other. So it would be nice if we do get a re-release of that. I know the US got a re-release of it, so it would be nice if we got a release over here. Other than that, other than that, just like, you could go on to the cows come home bloody speculating about B&M sex, which is why I don't normally. And whether we'll get it, I highly doubt we'll get any revised sets or a new TARDIS set in February-March time. I highly doubt it, because we will still be in lockdown, so I highly doubt it. But we still probably will get some in June, July time, or August possibly. An actual proper new wave, but depending on how things go, but very unlikely for that. So that it is unfortunate. I mean, they could do an online exclusive to Character's website, and it'll be interesting to see what they do next, whether they're going to just do one a year with those or more than one. But yeah, we do know there is going to be more of them, but we have no idea what they'll do next, whether they'll be limited to just Dalek sets or other sets. But yeah, I'll imagine the Character Online group will just be stuff that doesn't quite fit in with the B&M range. Yeah. And that's it for the comments for now. So yeah, it's just kind of a bit of a waiting game at the moment. Things are just not quite as they are, and I just assume that you know, in the unfortunate situation that we are in, I mean, things will be a lot worse. Things will be a lot worse, to be honest. I think at the moment, you know, I think at least at the moment things are looking up this year compared to last year, where everything just seemed to be going in one direction, which was going down. At least at the moment, you know, we've got the vaccines and that. Unfortunately, there's a massive increase of fucking anti-vaxxers who I think we should beat the shit out of. Because, you know, vaccination only works effectively if everyone takes it. It only works effectively if everyone takes it. If everyone doesn't take it, then it can't be you know, as effective, unfortunately. Because, you know, some people believe a fucking random rumour off Twitter than they would, you know, actual scientific evidence. But hey ho, there we go. I guess that's just life. But yeah, also, even though I have pre-ordered the 50th anniversary steelbook, which comes out in a couple of weeks now, or just over. I think it's 2 weeks. 3 weeks on Monday. 3 weeks on Monday, I think. Even though I have pre-ordered it, and I will be getting, obviously, I will not be opening it, so I won't be doing an unboxing on the 50th Steelbook Blu-ray, because I won't be opening it, because I've got no reason to open it, because the content is exactly the same as the 50th anniversary box set. So if you have that, then, you know, no new content there, so it's not worth me opening, but I just bought it because it's the 50th, and, you know, I like the artwork. But other than that, you know, no reason on opening it. Well, I will do an unboxing of Season 8. Hopefully, if it does arrive on the 8th of March. And to us, the 8th of March can't come bloody soon enough, because it'd be nice to have some new stuff to watch, quite frankly, because at the moment there's been kind of a lack of new stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of a bit jealous in the UK that we don't have HBO Max in the UK. It's a shame. Obviously, I could get through a VPN, but that's bloody hassle. Disenchantment Season 3 actually came out in the last couple of weeks, which I watched, which, yeah, that was decent. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, if anyone's got any more questions or anything to say, then please put them in the comments. Now, otherwise, I might wrap things up for the side stream, just because if it goes on too long, like, it just kind of just rambles on for ever and ever. Yeah. Actually, word of advice on turntables: don't get briefcase ones, because they're shite. They will damage your record. Just spend like 20, 30 quid more and get something a bit nicer. And use rubber mats over felt ones. And that because the felt ones bloody collect dust like there's no tomorrow. And then it bloody takes it onto the record. Yeah. Oh, and I will be reviewing when it arrives, when it's made. Actually, the RB replica, Fourth Doctor Sonic, the latest, because RB Replicas is bringing out another batch of. Actually, you know what? I'll get the message. I'll get the message on my Etsy. So, basically, I messaged RB Replicas because I wanted a Fourth Doctor Sonic, because the one I have from him, actually, you know, I'll actually go grab it. I'll go grab it, because I do have an RB Replicas Sonic. Where is it? In the drawer. Where is the head?
Where's the head section? Ah, there it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. Okay, so this is my RB replica Sonicking, as you can see. I mean, this thing I bought used off eBay for one, but this thing, you know, you can see it's got scuffing on it, and unfortunately, this is sat in a drawer for months, and I only opened the drawer the other day to discover that the bullet had come out, and this is an earlier version of RB Replica's Sonic. But what I plan to do is I'll probably glue this back in, because if I do kind of push it in like that, then it will hold in. So, you know, a bit of glue and that'll skin. But what I'll do, this is one of his earlier ones. What I'll do is, and you can see that's earlier ones, because if you pull it down, you can see the ridges don't go all the way down. But what I'm going to do with this is I'll probably turn it into a season 18/19 Sonic screwdriver and add the bit of white tape around there, because this thing is yeah. Also, the spring is very, very stiff on this, very stiff. So I'll probably replace the spring with a less powerful one. But yeah, I've ordered a new RB Replicas Sonic, which cost me £120, which included the postage. But he also said that he is doing a run of 3rd, 4th and 5th Dr. Sonics, as well as a small run of War Dr. Sonics. So we'll be doing that at some point. And whenever whenever it arrives, I'll do a review on it, and I'll probably compare it to this one as well, which, you know, it's in a bit of a sorry state at the minute, which is going to go straight back in the drawer. There we go. But yeah, I'll probably make that one into a 5th Doctor Sonic, like this is the character toy, and that's on there. So yeah, obviously got that to look forward to, because there isn't really much to review at the moment. Joseph Gavlin, I paid €166 for my Dalek, including the postage cost to Ireland. Fucking hell, that's a lot of money. That is more than I would have paid for it, to be honest. Andy J, I missed the Forbidden Planet exclusive sets. B&M are skull repinks and are poor quality. Well, the thing is, I think people, to be honest, poor quality. People clearly don't remember. Clearly, people are a bit nostalgic for the Forbidden Planet sets, but people clearly don't remember the shit quality control that they had. The B&M sets have much better quality control than the Forbidden Planet ones, because the Forbidden Planet ones, oh boy, the quality control was all over the fucking place with those. All over the place. And also, the B&M sets technically have a bigger budget than the Forbidden Planet sets actually do, or did, if they were still going now. And the reason is because figures are just more expensive to make these days. But yeah, if the Forbidden Planet sets were still going now, one or two things would happen. Either the prices would be like nearly 50 quid a figure, or, this is the other thing, or they would be exactly the same as the B&M sets, except would cost twice as much, or 3 times as much. I mean, you gotta remember, the Time of the Doctor set, that was £30 for one figure,
admittedly, it did come with a few accessories, but £30 for one figure. One figure. That was bloody expensive, and that was one of the last ones that they did. Yeah. The Toys R Us exclusives were kind of a nice middle ground, because they weren't as expensive as the Forbidden Planet ones, but, you know, they still had a bit more money than, say, the B&M ones did. But the B&M ones, you know, the budget on them has actually increased since 2018. Like, in 2019, the budget for them actually decided to increase the budget and go all out on them. Because there was the fear that they might not be able to afford to do them another year, so they decided, let's just go all in. Arthur W. Billing. I thought Resolution was a bit bizarre story. It felt like it would have worked a lot better if the story had been in the Sarah Jane adventures. I can sort of see what you mean with that. But the problem with Resolution is it's two stories that don't fit together. Resolution of the Daleks is the same. It's got you've got your kind of fun Dalek story, and then you've got the heavy emotional family thing, and the two of them don't fit together at all. They're just two separate, and that actually Resolution of the Daleks has got even worse, because it's got a pointless bit of the Doctor being in prison, which did end up being completely pointless. It was just a way to shoehorn Jack into the plot. I say it because it was one of the Daleks infiltrating Earth for the fact it was scrap. Feels like it well worked in the show. I don't think they were allowed to use the Daleks in the Sarah Jane adventures. There was like a rule on what monsters could be, and like some town was like the biggest that it could be, which is why the Cybermen technically made it into Torchwood. And the reason is because I think it's to do with monsters killing and that. You know, Sarah Jane Adventures kind of have a rule of, minimal death in it. Death can still happen, but, it has to happen in certain ways. For example, obviously it all has to be bloodless. And, generally a lot of the time it can't be on screen. But, yeah. Yeah, just stuff along those lines. I'm going to put it up on my phone. It's easier to see. Joseph Gavin, do you think we might ever see a movie at some future point? I know a character can't make any other blue ones. Well, the thing is that character. The thing is, no one seems to be the people who own the rights to that don't want to give it up. Yeah, that's the reason why. Is that they don't seem to be willing to sell the license, at least at a reasonable cost, because their character did try to get the license. They did try to get the license. They've tried to get it several times, and unfortunately, on all occasions, the answer has either been no, or it's been a ridiculous amount. So maybe, but we'll see. I think Project Enterprise Blue Movie Dalek is much better than characters. Yeah, it is. It is. Again, I still like characters for the Blue Saints, but it's not metallic. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do it metallic, because the weird thing is they did the re-release of the Chase Guard, which was the B&M set version. That had a slight metallic finish, but the Jonas and Mechanus one, which would have been made at the same time, they didn't, which I don't know why. Why didn't they give it a metallic finish? I honestly don't know why. And unfortunately, Alduar, if you try and say anything remotely negative, he'll either block you, ignore you, or just call you a hater. Because it happened to me when I mentioned that the packaging for the TARDIS sets was actually damaging the TARDIS itself. And he just flat out blocked me. Andy G says it wouldn't be £50 a figure.
Well, let's take a look, For example, NECA figures. Now, NECA figures can be up to £50 per figure, so to be honest, if you're talking about new sculpts, it could be. It genuinely could be. So, £50 a figure, you know, I mean, we had £30 for one figure. And, you know, that was 2014. So, you know, it's not out of the question that if they wanted a new figure, brand new figure. I mean, to be honest, that Time of the Doctor set was mostly reused parts anyway, so. Now the question, Joseph, my motto is spend less money on some areas and more on others. Yep. Yeah, that's what I do. For example, I spend a lot on character options figure to my uncles in England to avoid Cost Island, yes. And the base on the character ones is too light. Anyway, a standalone figure with minimal accessories would be £25 to £30 max. The thing is, though, they would include accessories with a singular figure to help justify the cost. Because that's what they generally do. If they release a singular figure, that would be exclusive. The prices would be up. Maybe not necessarily at £50, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were at 35, 40, because that's generally what the market is at for those types of figures. For collectors' figures, they are at the £30, £40 now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went up to even more, because a lot of things like that are just going up, unfortunately. Which is unfortunate, but it's just the way the market is at the moment. Collector's items are just shooting through the roof. Yeah, and same with the Blu-ray box sets, because I happen to know, actually on knowledge, that the RRP originally for Season 8, Season 24, and even Season 14, the RRP was supposed to be £60 for them. However, all the retailers basically said, no, we're not selling it for £60. We want to keep it at 40. And recently they've had to up that to 45. So yeah, basically retailers don't make nearly no profit on them in terms of the box sets. They don't make a lot of profit on them, but obviously they'll sell in bigger numbers. In terms of the manufacturing costs, obviously there's the boxes the Blu-ray sets are made out of cost more than the discs themselves. At least in the UK. Not necessarily in the US. Probably evens out. I was just a bit of trivia there. Bit of random trivia. Andy, how long do you see character options range lasting for? Well, I mean, their license, they've extended their license, I think it's until, is it 2028? Something like that. Whenever they last updated their license, which I think was 2018, 2019, along those lines, whenever they did that, might be in 2017 even, but they basically extended our license for another 10 years. It was either 10 or 15 years, one of the two. So whenever that license ends, that's at least how long they'll do them for. Because they'll basically do them as long as Doctor Who is relevant, and as long as they sell. That's essentially just how it goes. If they stop selling, or if they they don't sell enough to justify the costs, that's when they'll stop doing them. Essentially, it's just basically as simple as that. They'll keep doing them until either they lose the license,
or they don't sell. They just don't sell anymore. It'll basically just be one of those things. It'll be one of those things. I mean, that's essentially EA saying they've got the bit. They do have an advantage of, they've got nostalgia on their sides, for the classic series stuff, which is what sells more. And there's also the fact that, they've got a massive catalogue of re-releases they can do if Aldebar doesn't fuck it up, which he probably will, because Aldebar can't. Philosophy is, you can't just re-release something even if people want it. No, you have to make changes that don't, aren't there and don't occur. But yeah, I guess it's just as how long they sell for us, actually, as long as they got the license. I mean, Product Enterprise. The reason that that they didn't, because they had the option of renewing their license, but the company was in trouble at the time because basically their Doc 2 stuff was the thing keeping them alive and keeping them afloat. The Product Enterprise technically still exists, but they're no longer called Product Enterprise. In fact, I think there's only like 6 or 8 people working for them. But yeah, they had the option to renew their license, and they didn't. So in 2008, I think it was, they lost their license. Because they did actually plan to do more stuff. However, the stuff they had planned, they planned to do what they called the Gleefix Daleks, and there's a YouTube out there, and if I remember his name, did a video on them, but they did look interesting, to say the least. But yeah, the problem with Product Enterprise is that Character Option Doc 2 returned, and Character Options got the new series license, and that basically meant Product Enterprise was just blown out the water. But at the same time, there was a silver lining to it, because since Product Enterprise, decided not to go with the classic series license, it also meant Character Options was also able to obtain it. So yeah, it was kind of like a silver lining there. Arthur W. Billing. I miss when they used to do big waves with every new series. Yeah, the problem is though, you would with the big waves of the new series figures, you would always get 2 or 3 figures that no one wanted. For example, prime example, the Laszlo figure from Series 3. Oh, fucking hell. I remember in bloody 2013, I was in Phoenix, and they had a clearance bin out in their toy department. And they had, I think, about a pile of Laszlo figures for 99p each. And I still didn't buy one. I still didn't buy one even then. I might now, but I didn't at the time. Yeah, Phoenix don't really have a proper toy department anymore. They used to have a toy department that was basically the entire floor. Whereas now, in at least my Phoenix, it's just all in one tiny corner. But you get a bigger variety then. Riley Curtis says, lovely beard. Thank you. Andy Gig, do you think there will be a time like the Tennant era figures again? No, there won't be. At least not for the foreseeable future. And the reason is the toy market is completely different. Because stuff like the Doc 2 figures these days are seen more as collector figures. And the reason is just because kids these days, technology has progressed to that point where kids these days just aren't interested in figures. A lot of kids just aren't interested, and you might see it otherwise, but when was the last time you ever saw a kid buying a Doctor Who figure or even looking at them. You know, is just a thing that, you know, you can't get. It's moved now from the kids market to the adult collectors market, and there are advantages of that. 'Cause, you know, generally there are advantages, but also disadvantages. You do in the adults collectors market, you don't get as much as you would in the kids market, but generally, you know, that they are focused more on collectors, so stuff like accuracy and stuff like that is more of a priority in that department. So yeah, it just kind of depends. Unless in the kids department that there's the shovelware as well. Joseph Gavin, I don't know why character released the Imperial Daleks. They should have got the money to fix the mesh. The thing is, they didn't need to change it in the fucking first place. Because what they should have done with that Renegade Dalek, rather than add mesh to the Imperial mould, they should have just released it. Because the thing is, it's got the wrong number of slats anyway. But what they should have done is just done the standard slats. And even though they would have the rivets, you know, it would still be more accurate because there would be the correct number of slats and it would have the mesh. But hey ho, there you go. Just again. And the iris, not silver, but at least they got the pupil right. Yeah, I mean, the iris. God. I think the 2020 Imperial Daleks are much better than the other ones. For the most part, though obviously the slacks are better than on the older releases. But other than that, I would agree with you in that case. Andy G, why are you selling the Fame Monster vinyl? Because on my eBay, I'm selling this, which is the Fame Monster picture disc. And because this is my original one, I've got another one of these. Because this one has a fault on it where the track jumps around twice on Bad Romance. It jumps in a couple of places. So that's why I'm selling it, because it does have a fault to it. So that's why I'm selling that. So yeah, if you're not bothered about Bad Romance, all the other tracks play fine. But yeah, I do have another one of them in my collection, which is why I'm selling that one. So yeah, I'm basically selling that one to pay for its replacement. So yeah, if basically if that is it for things, obviously if you're commenting, you know, quickly put your comment down right now, and we'll see. I'm going to go, but you know, if that is it, then I shall wrap things up. I know I said that about half an hour ago, but yeah, here we are. I'm gonna aim to get more Product Enterprise stuff. You do that. You do that. I don't envy you in the slightest though, because Product Enterprise stuff has shot up in price since I got mine. I was lucky to get mine at the price I did, because as soon as I finished getting my Product Enterprise stuff, the prices just shot up on them. I don't know if it was me making videos on that did that. Probably not, but if it was, sorry. But yeah, I think there was more aware, and generally just more people started making videos on them generally, or just people just decided, looked at them and thought, actually, you know what, they are pretty cool. But when I was buying them, they weren't cheap, but now they look cheap in comparison. What was a prototype Doctor Who figure that you got that you wished you got?
prototype figure. Well, in terms of ones that I got or released, it would be nice actually if they could release this actually, because they did make a mold of it, but never released it. Even though it's not fully accurate, it would be nice if they did the Wheeling Space Cyberman, because they did make a character did make a prototype of it. But it would be nice just to have, all of the classic series Cybermen. I am born in 2002, so I was too young to get the prototype surprise. I mean, I was born in 98. And didn't become aware of Product Enterprise until I think it was 2006, 2007. Yeah, 2006. 2006 is when I became aware of Product Enterprise, and that was because that was when I discovered Forbidden Planet for the first time. So yeah, it wasn't until then I discovered Product Enterprise stuff, and I was only 7 at the time, so I couldn't get much stuff. So most of the vast majority of my Product Enterprise collection, I got between 2015 and 2017. That's where I got the vast majority of my stuff. What about the Yeti? Yeah, would be nice to get. Yeah, you could say just like, oh, I wish this figure was released, but yeah, I tried to keep it in the ballpark of something that they could actually do, something that they could actually release. I still don't know why Aldebar decided to not use the prototype sculpt for the 4th Doctor from Terror of the Zygons. I don't know why, because the one that ended up being used doesn't look as good. I didn't become aware of it until 2020, after watching your videos. Yeah. Okay, so maybe that is the case. Yeah. I only became aware because I saw it in a shop. Can't remember, there was very few places that sold Product Enterprise stuff. The only places I remember was the Doctor Who Museum in Blackpool, Forbidden Planet, Model Zone had a few, and that was it in terms of like physical shops, at least in where I knew of. Okay, I was born in 2004, so I missed out on 2013. I was up 1 year old when Doctor Who stuff was still around. So I got. Seems why I got into Doctor Who. Plus, I live in Australia, so we don't get much Doctor Who merchandise here. I don't know if Product Enterprise stuff was even released in Australia. I don't know if it was even released over there. I don't know if it was, because I don't think it was officially released out. I know some of it got to America. But other than that, I don't think any of it officially was released in Australia. I also think Aldebar did show Batman March the Yeti. He definitely showed him some prototype figures. Because there is a video on his channel where he literally pulls out a briefcase, opens it up, and shows him something just off camera. But they couldn't release it. Yeah, but they could release a lot of the other prototypes that they make, like the Wheeling Space Cyberman. Now, yes, it's not fully accurate, but they still could release it because they got rights to that. Yeah, it would be nice if they could clear the rights for the Anthony Ainley figure. Because I don't know why they can't. I don't know what it is with the rights with that. Yeah, because Eagle Moss released an anti-Ainley figurine. So yeah, I know a rumor was they weren't happy with the likeness, but it's just like they're not happy with the likeness of the Couch Options one, yet they're perfectly happy with the Eagle Moss one, which you can tell who it's meant to be, but doesn't look like him. I mean, to be honest, I think the anti-Ainley figure is probably one of the best likenesses. So yeah. Probably just want more money, that'll be it. That'll be it, they'll just want more money. Yeah. I'm just going to wait to see if there's any more comments for a second. But if this gets to 1 minute 12 and there's nothing new, then I think that's when I'll wrap things up. Yeah, because, there we go. No. Actually, it would be nice if B&M this year re-released some more Sonic screwdrivers that weren't the 10th Doctor or the 11th Doctor ones again. That would be nice. To be fair, they did the War Doctor in 2019. They didn't do any last year, which is weird. But it would be nice to see. I know one, the 12th Doctor Sonic, the second version, the 12th Doctor's second Sonic screwdriver, because that thing's become quite expensive, brand new at least. So that would be nice if that goes. But something I would love to see re-released is the Sonic lipstick. Yeah, that would be nice to see a re-release. And some of the other stuff as well, like the UK never got a re-release of the laser screwdriver. They could do a re-release of the Jadoon scanner. And possibly even give it the right sound effect this time around. So look, other songs they could do. But yeah. Anyway, just going says. Anyway, I want to ask this guy. I think it's a running down. Was your dream for B&M 3-pack? My dream B&M 3-pack. I'll keep it realistic. Or should I? Or should I just go off the walls? Okay, I'll just go a little bit off. Emperor Davros from Terra Firma, along with a Charlie Pollard, and yeah, I guess another release of the 8th Doctor. That'd be nice. Or, if not, the Dalek Time Controller, a Lucy Miller, and an 8th Doctor. So, yeah, that's it for that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this live stream. So a bit longer. I'm going to stop this now because I am hungry. I haven't had my lunch yet. So yeah. Anyway, one more comment. Okay, I'll quickly do this one. Arthur W. Billing. Do you think we will get the Defense Hungry? I want both versions. If they do, it'll probably be a repaint of the destroyed reconnaissance Dalek. So it will be inaccurate in that regard, because they're not. After what happened with the reconnaissance Dalek, I don't see characters spending the money on doing a new sculpt for that, even if they do at all. To be honest, because they've seen like we spend money on the 13th Doctor era stuff. It sells fuck all. We spend a little bit of money we spend a fraction of that doing new head sculpts on the B&M sets. It sells fucking loads. We even just re-released Daleks again. It sells loads. let's just focus our efforts on that. So yeah, that's in my opinion what they're probably going to do. Ray Curtis says, does it annoy you that all the 10th Doctor Sonic's screwdrivers they release have 4 sounds? Because of me, the old 2 sounds was so much better. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I honestly don't know why. Also, the weird thing is that if you have the 2030, the ones that were on the BBC shop before it shut down in the UK, which were also sold at the 50th anniversary event, that were just in the 10th Doctor Sonics that were just in the plastic bags that you could get for £3. You had a 50% chance of getting one with a blue LED and the correct 2 sound chip. I should know because I actually do have some of them, and I did a video on them way back when. I think it was like in 2014 or something like that. I think character options got better recently. They have gotten better, but they've also gotten a little bit worse. And the thing is, I've said this before, but I think I've tweeted about this, but Al-Duar is the John Nathan Turner of character. Because remember what we got in 2018? Yeah. But Al-Duar is basically the John Nathan Turner of character. In the way that he is both responsible for massively reviving and improving things, but also messing with things a bit too much. Prime example, when they do re-releases of Daleks and fucking them up by changing things for no fucking reason. Just basically getting his hands all over it. I mean, you could argue Stephen Moffat is the John Nathan Turner of the new series. He did good things and bad things. Arthur Curry Willing, I have a good pitch for a new 13th Doctor episode. We have a fake out Master who turns out to be Omega, and the Master gets revealed to transforms into a dark. Nah. Here's a good idea. Suddenly the 12th Doctor wakes up and the 13th Doctor was all just a massive dream. Because he was having a seizure on the TARDIS floor. Riley Curtis, because when I was 9, I got the End of Time Sonic. I loved it, and when it broke, I actually got a re-release with the 4 sounds. Even when I was young, I hated it. Yeah, I mean, the advantage with the 4 sound version is all of them have blue LEDs. The End of Time version and previous versions of that had the purple UV LED, apart from the one that was released with the Sonic pen, which I did actually have originally, but did eventually break. I don't mind the selection. Big section change on 60. You're in the minority, mate. You are in the minority. Because I really fucking can't accept. The fact is that they had it right before, and he just decided to change it just for the sake of it. It wasn't even a reason. He'd never give it just for the sake of it. And the fact that the previous History of the Galaxy 1 and 2 had it correct, and then they just changed it for the sake of it. How's it going to be building? No one expects Omega to be taking out to be. Yeah, but just doing that just for the sake of it. Assuming that, but just doing a surprise just for the sake of a surprise is just like, nah, there's a reason no one expects it, because it's like, why? There's a good Omega twist story, if you ever listened to the Big Finish story, Omega, which you can get on Spotify for free, or I think it's £3 for the digital download, which normally goes on sale for £1.50. But yeah, if you haven't listened to Omega, that's an interesting twist in it, which I won't spoil. But yeah,
a minute, 30 seconds to when it gets a thingy. So yeah, overall, that is a wrap of this live streamer, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Again, I'll probably do a live stream on point. Okay, then quickly, Riley Curtis says my fourth Sonic says he really likes, and it was the international release, so it also has quite bad paint job. And that map's cardboard cutout looks right in the light. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for this live stream, and I'll see you whenever I do another one. So, bye bye.